You run out of storage, well, your old freezer.
Hi, I'm George the Antique Nomad. Come with me as I wander the country in search of valuable vintage, amazing antiques, and cool collectibles. We'll buy, sell, and trade at antique malls, shops, and shows, estate sales, flea markets, thrift stores, anywhere people go to find really interesting things that just aren't made anymore. So come on, let's go! Hey everybody, it's George the Antique Nomad. I got a text today from the people running the estate sale in Stanley saying that I should come back because the family apparently realized that as great as the stuff was in the house, that everyone willing to pay a price had already been out and seen it, and that it was time to move it. And so apparently half off is starting right now. So I am on the way and we're going to go see what there is, because if the stuff that I liked is still there, I think I'm going to end up with a big pile, and I'm excited. So let's go.
I guess they just decided to say uncle a little earlier. I thought they were going to do half off next weekend. I guess it'll be 75% next weekend. They do have a lot of stuff to move, so I understand. But wow, where to start then? Well, half off sure changes your perspective, because suddenly that green bucket for $6 even looks okay. The midget cedar is cool looking, and it's got that patent date of 1914 and a lot of, you can do peas, it's different sizes, beets and radishes, onions. Interesting. That's a pretty cool thing, but I don't know this, and it's half of 115, so I'm going to have to look into that. I haven't seen this one before. I'd be surprised if I could do anything with it at that price. The miner's lantern, on the other hand, is kind of neat. Also 115. It's half of that would be good for a collector, but it's still a little more than I would want to pay. It's got a good label though. It's like the type they used in England quite a bit. Too soon? Maybe so. Alright, well there's my half off pile. I'm very happy to get the Triton topped Nautilus shells. I think those are great. These are Victorian. They're very shortly thereafter. And they have a name on them, which I hope I can make out. Let's see. It doesn't matter. They are great for the price.
Oh, that was a different lady.
And I think the mailbox is just cool. I missed this yesterday. It would have originally had forks at $6.50 though. Very cute. Kitchen jar. Looks like it might be intact with the lid. For $15, these are mine. Alright, the ever-expanding pile. So I got this because it is a cake plate. It's uranium glass, it'll glow, and half of 20 is a good price. Especially with people interested in that now. And then a pair of these in weeping gold. I just thought they were really fun. $4 for those. Well, let's look at some garden statuary, at least what's left. This one has possibilities. Nobody loved it yet, but it is one of the Four Seasons. It's got a nice sort of ghost painting to it, or maybe that's actually rust stain, but in either event it gives it some age. I think I like that. I might take that. I know that thing is heavy and huge and awkward, but I bet I sell it this weekend. This is still here. Is there any way to tell the age a little better? Yeah, I see pink overspray in there. That makes me think the glaze is newer, so I'm going to pass on that. I think a lot of these are plastic. Yeah, that one's ceramic. This one is too, but it's hollow ceramic, and I don't think that'll do well. These are all newer. Here's a cigarette. They're newer too. What do they have on them? Half of 35. Yeah, I don't think they're all that interesting. This may be Haber, but it's as is somehow. There's the chip.
Only $8, so.
I just sold all the Bakelite utensils I had. And here's an entire set again, it looks like. I think I might be in the market. The children's ones are a bit much, but everything else looks pretty good. A nice little spice cabinet for $65 and half off. I'm going to take that. It's going to be from right about 1900. It's got the painting on the back. The one above it is similar in age, but it's got a split at the top. Well, that was lucky. The nice pieces of Fenton Burmese were still here, and someone looked at them and then I bought them, so I feel very good about that. Lutz piece is still here. Let's see how that looks. And this one here as well.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
85. That is nice. We'll take a closer look. Nice cranberry set. Okay, that says as is, so I'm going to skip that. Flashed. Now look who's hanging out with the 1910s trunk faces, which are all priced pretty full. But there are two, if I can carefully get this out. These are 1960s, and they are going to be half of that price, and nobody sees this stuff, and they're swung, and I'm getting them. I think these are great. Fenton didn't do a lot of this finish on modern pieces, but it's pretty cool, and I'm going to have some fun with those. You know, even the Fenton cranberry glass is not badly priced for what it is at this point. This one looks to be Victorian with the enameling. It's $10 now, and the vase down here was $95. It'll be half. It's starting to get into the realm of viability. What a difference half price makes. Suddenly this Fenton set is $137.50. One just sold for around $350. I'll take it. I got the McCoy, I got the bust of Celia, a couple of pieces of Zolnay. Now granted, these are some of the more common cast iron bags. The safe, the mailbox, but they're priced pretty well at this point. The ones I really like are the skyscrapers. And that one, if it didn't have a new bolt, I would get it, but you need the original stuff. Sherindel set is $182.50 at this point. Nice Bristol glass faces and more Zolnay. I like the figural myself. Admiral Dewey in the corner in the milk glass. I buy these sometimes because I do sell occasionally. Haven't done it for a while, but in Bremerton, Washington, where I grew up. Okay, let's see. First of all, it's half at $30. Secondly, is it an original or a reproduction? We're going to hold it up to a strong light. It glows gray and it has a chip, so that means newer and not interesting to me. I'm sure that's going to be the same with that one. This one may be older. We'll take a look. We're looking for fire in the glass when we hold it up to a strong light. Not a grayish cast. This does not have any fire. So these are 1960s and 70s. Perfectly fine. Prices are fine. I just don't go wild for them unless they're older, generally. This is a sweet piece of McCoy. It's a common piece of McCoy, but at half of $11, they're making me take it. Checkbirds. Nice quilt top, but it's only down to 30, and that's about what I would like to get them for about 20, so I think we'll wait on that. Now, she obviously really loved this print. It's Victorian, it's got its original frame and the gilding, it's 1890s lithography. It's $32.50 with the discount. It's been a while since I was going to pay for one of these, but this is in such great condition, and it's hard to see the image. I'll see if I can get up close, but it's really quite detailed. Here's the next room, and wow, this is the formal dining room. And the formal dining room is full of, well, formal dining stuff. A lot of this isn't going to be stuff that we really have a great market for these days, as beautiful as it is. There is a reason that a lot of it's still sitting here. But there are some pretty cool things in some of these beautiful cabinets. There's a whole bunch of John Perry. A whole bunch of John Perry, including flamingos, so I'm going to look at those. The old Paris pair is only $37.50. It's amazingly cheap, but it is damaged. In the middle, that is a Meissen signed compote. It is really ornate. The applied flowers are great. The condition seems to be really, really good. It's so important that these be immaculate to get top dollar. They're asking $500 for it. It may well be worth it. It may be worth considerably more. The Meissen market isn't what it once was, perhaps, but it's the echelon of very high-end collectors, so the people who love something will pay big money for it. Well, this guy here is a netminder, and he's resin. He's got the artist sculpture, and he's also got this copyright on the back, and this is a known 1970s and 80s house that did these things. I thought he had a good look. And he's $19 with discount. This is Viking. They did not make this lavender for very long. It was right near the end of production. And this little piece is Wavecrest. Now, Wavecrest has fallen a lot in price, but they're cute little lilies of the valley, and it's $14. I mean, come on. Someone's going to love that. These folks had the fun of taking that up the stairs. They're going to try to put it in that truck. That'll be fun. Well, they're about to have no light in here. I wasn't going to buy this for half of $195 because I would have to wire it. And then I looked up in the ceiling and it is on a plug. I'm so happy I am taking it. Gotta get it all the way here, and it's made in China. It's a reproduction. I'm taking it back. I do like the Arco Rock glasses. 9 of them for $20 is good price, and you put your wine in, and then if it's red, you can't see the arches. They're made in France in the 70s, but people like these. Well, you can see how she had the parlor set up.
What'd you say, Stacy?
Obviously, they brought the shelves in to house the things that were in the cabinets. Some really beautiful furniture that I'm not paying much attention. These are all 1920s walnut burl pieces. It's just such richness to them. If you like stately, oh, sold to the house buyer. So someone has bought the house. Well, that's good. Someone who respects some of what's in here. That's nice. Very pretty Victorian lamp table. Dark mahogany. This vitrine is nice, but if you look at the bottom, this is fabric rather than painting. It's a certain look. I prefer the hand-painted ones personally. It is priced at $5.75. It used to be that was wholesale on those. This is pretty. It's a nice dresser jar from the 1930s, just a wee bit worn, unfortunately. Another Fenton piece that goes from the purple to the cranberry. Nice holder on that, although the bowl is newer. Let's see with a little crackle glass piece. I'm short on those. Oh, $3. Well, heavens. I'll take that.
I need to follow you just so I can learn things.
I always remember when Jocelyn and Drew on Crazy Lamp Lady found a whole bunch of these cider pitchers. And this one's nice. It's hand-painted, but it's got serious crazing, unfortunately. And you can see it really heavily on the inside. So even though it's a good price, I'm going to leave it be. This appears to be Satsuma. It's an odd form. I think it's missing a finial. Nope. Yes, it is. That's why. It should have had a knob on that lid. Too bad. It's a cute piece otherwise. There's a lot of nice small furniture too. This is a really handsome piece that I think has just been sheltered where nobody noticed it. It's somewhere in an early Art Deco because you see the geometry and the stylization, but it is not streamlined. So this is more in the French Art Deco tradition. It's priced at $82.50 now. I'm really thinking that that's worthwhile because of its age and the design. I think I'll get that. I am buying so much stuff, but you know, you don't get opportunities like this very often where a dealer's fancy, nice house is on sale and they have so much stuff that there's a ton of good things. So I'm having a blast. All right, I see more custard glass. We'll see if this is new or older or in between. I think we might have some more winners here. And the Lucite purses. I thought I might be the only person who had a place for these to go. I am going to buy a ton. There's phones. I cannot get over how great this is. I might have to make a few trips and go back to the storehouse with it. There are just shelves and shelves of interesting Victorian glass. Early 20th century was fired on similar to Goofus. Those are interesting colors. You don't really see the greenish tone very much. Bunch of McCoy here. Ooh, including the rustic teapot, which somebody specifically was asking for in a live recently. Half of 35. Well, I hope they might want it. If not, someone else will. I like that.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to take a quick break and thank you for watching this video. If you're enjoying it, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. Also, please do subscribe because then you can click that bell to be notified of future videos. We have membership packages. There's a couple of different levels. We appreciate the support of our super fans who help us do extra bonus content. You can check that out by hitting the join button below or clicking the link in the description. And lastly, we want to ask you to check out our new channel, the Antique Nomad Live. That's live with an exclamation point, where we're doing additional content of a live nature, hauls, sales, bonus stuff. We'll have a lot of fun there too. So check us out here on the Antique Nomad and also on the Antique Nomad Live. Now let's get back to this video.
Cute little childhood stuff. And little milk glass dresser jars.
All of it?
Yeah.
Let's see what's in here. I like the phones. The only one I would buy would be the green, except it's got a big scratch. I would buy the red, but they need to be rewired. I'm just not sure. I might take the one on the right, because it does at least have the original plug with the old jack, which some people still find in their houses. There's a pretty nice little miniature oil lamps. With the new popularity of fairy lamps, maybe these will be the next thing to come back. The one on the right, though, is a reproduction, even though it's beautiful. Okay, fancy dresser boxes. You know I like these, and especially this one with the cherubs. If that is in good shape, I think I'll take that. Another piece of work, Capo di Monte. Yeah, that is a really pretty one. And it looks like the flowers are all good. That's the thing. It's not damaged.
It's not damaged. I'm afraid it will be by the time it gets home.
The lamp might be the safe thing, but that was cool.
Oh, I have one at home too. It's got all the very details.
Ooh, look at the Murano bowl. That might be something under the candle. Okay, so far I have filled almost an entire table and the end of a table with stuff. I think I'm going to spend a lot of money here. The ewers that used to sit on top of Victorian mantel places are so inexpensive now. $14 for one of those. Now matched pairs, of course, are going to be more desirable. Those are $45 for the pair. They're just decorative. They're not really hollow. You can't use them for anything, and people are more practical nowadays, but they are beautiful. If you like that circa 1970 French provincial, having it all painted out like this with the gold and the gray really does give it a lot more dimension. So I'm not surprised this has a sold tag. I like to check fragrances, but these don't look particularly old. This kind of glass is neat, but a lot of it is fairly recent, as you can see by this tag. This is 1980s, and it has this wash. It was sold at Kmart, it looks like. Art Nouveau Art Glass Company, USA. Ah, yes, that's right. It's Reuven Glass. R-U-E-V-E-N. And I think Reuven Glass is an up-and-coming collectible. Very 1980s, American-made. It's just a color wash. But it definitely was a look that was very popular at the time. Lots of things to... Oh, they did what I always do, is put a bunch of pillows in the big bathtub. I have the pink version of the Hager Mother and Child, and they're large, so I think one's enough for right now. Whiting and Davis, but it looks like the clasp, yes, it's losing its chrome. This might be Whiting and Davis too, but it's awfully lightweight and the white is tough to sell, and I can tell by just feeling it that it isn't. Now this is likely French beaded, but they do tend to shed beads right around the clasp, so this one unfortunately has as well. The Reuben glass lamp might be the thing to cut one's teeth on as a dealer, because that's an unusual looking piece and has decorative value, so that might be something to check into. This is a nice opalescent with just a little bit of cranberry rolled on the edge from about 1910. Yvonne Thrifty Rich likes these. People are always afraid to touch what's behind the screens, but you know, there's a lot of nice pieces in here, and I think some of them are viable at this price, so I will open the door. More little Fenton pieces. You know, dresser stuff by Fenton does well. That's got one little tiny chip though, so I'm going to leave that one. And besides, the jars don't seem to do quite as well as the perfume bottles, which this is, and this I think I'll take. Stopper seems good. It's not stained inside. It should be fine. I'll take that one. Fenton before it was marked Fenton in the glass. This bright spool is Royal Beirut. I thought it might be RS Prussia because it was so deep dished, but I turned it over and there's the Royal Beirut mark from about 1910. This one is probably RS Prussia. Yes, there's a very good mark on it. It's the Master Berry Bold. These used to sell for 3 times this price, but they are really beautiful. Look at the detail, the way that it's airbrushed in the back with the seam, and then the transfer in the middle, and the hand gilding, the deep sculpting. They're really pretty pieces. That would be $37.50. It's almost tempting to me, even though I know it's not a big seller these days. It is a beautiful piece, and there are still collectors, as there should be, who really respect it. I could use some fresh stock in perfume bottles, especially things with color. Let's see what this is. Victoria's Secret. I didn't think that looked very well made. This is 60s modern all the way. And these really sell pretty well. Oh, Global Art Japan. Well, we're back in one of the bedrooms. This lamp's a reproduction, but it's very pretty. It's at $200 with the discount now, which is certainly fair. If I had a globe, I'd love to get the elephant lamp for $22.50, but I don't have a shade to put on it that's proper. That one's clearly a reproduction. Oh look, Mount St. Helens. I remember those days. We lived in Washington, but we were on the wrong side to get any ash at all. Our relatives in Centralia got 18 inches. Dumbbells, fake flintlocks, some chalkware, just some fun stuff. The train cars we'll take a look at up there. It's very dark in here. I don't know how well this will show, but I just sold something like this last week for a good price. I think I'm going to get some of these. This is a cool thing I haven't seen in a long time. This is a camel inkwell. All 3 of them are, but one of them has its saddle, and the paint looks pretty good, so it might be a buy. These are out of the 1920s and 30s. Okay, he's a little chippy on the front. That may affect the value, but he is pretty good on the saddle. The painting is good, so we'll take a look and see what they're selling for and whether we can buy him or not. The important part is that the lid is still strongly on its hinge. This is celluloid from about 1910, and it is $6.50 before the discount. This would be a letter opener or a page turner. Pretty good price for that. Is this barometer holder? Made in USA. might be Sirocco wood. In fact, it is absolutely Sirocco wood. This is going to be early production when they were using composite made of wood grain. This way you can see a little bit of chipping around the edges. Long before they were bought out by Burwood and turned into plastic. The paint's just a little chip there, otherwise I think this would be a great deal. A spittoon or cuspidor. Probably a cuspidor to be carried with you because it was smaller. The revolver holder here is neat, but it's hard to see in the dark. Canon is half of 125. That's still too much for me because they made those for so long. And a lot of brown spatterware. Disney home movies priced about $5 each. Yeah, she had the stuff all right.
Oh my gosh.
It's a great clock, but it's just a little scuffed up, darn it.
I know, it's different.
All right, now we're going to go downstairs. Yes, there is more. Left or right? I'm going to say right. All right, we've got some more holsters and gun belts. Two of leather, more money than I would pay. Lots of newer die cast. I have a friend who likes that because he does race cars. The tractors are all cool, but they're priced a little higher than I'd like to pay for them. I could use a gun safe, but this one is not for sale. I don't really need it for guns, it's just there's a lot of big stuff that doesn't fit in a regular safe. Moccasins, these look genuine. 1950s. Maybe Manteca, but they look like they might actually be made on reservation. In any event, they're $10. And for that price, because I have none,
No, that's fine.
I think I'll go ahead and get those. They've just got the right look. Wow, comics. Mainly Western comics. Gunsmoke Western. Some of these might have value. They look fairly worn, but it'd be worth going through if it was an area I knew without referring to a book. But there's so many that I really do refer to references on these. I mean, there's the Golden Age, which are 10 cent and earlier, so this one's older. But condition makes such a difference, and right there we've got a rip and a bend, and a lot of these are going to be like that. So look for old numbers. This one is number 65, this one's number 130. You can get something that's number 1 through 10, you're probably looking at something valuable. And they like horror and sci-fi and futurism a lot more than they like the funny ones. Boy, here's a big pile here too. And then Jean Autry, my aunt's favorite when she was a little girl. Hard to get excited about ice cleats when it's 85 degrees outside. Those are for another season. Another miner's lamp, but again, they want $65, and I just don't know that that'll sell for enough to be worth that. I am buying HO stuff, but these are priced pretty high. I mean, 30 and 40 is retail on them, so half, you know, we can't even test them to see if they run. I'm not loving that. Miniature toboggan for a doll. Nice little child's desk. A lot of the furniture is sold because it really is good quality, and there is a French provincial feel to a lot of it. Ooh, look at the log cabin that somebody made. Isn't that neat? Wow. I like any of this stuff where you know it's one of a kind. This I believe to be French pine furniture, and it's sold as well. This is nice for a craftsman house. It's just fir, so it's just pine. It's very rustic. It's only $90 now. That just seems like a good deal, but people are not buying cabinets as much as they used to, unless they're collecting and need the space for that. Another McCoy piece. Nice fireplace screen. A little tattered at the bottom though. You run out of storage, well, your old freezer. That might be the moment when you know you've crossed the line. Well, I feel sad because I think I've found everything I'm going to find today, but wow, what a bunch of stuff this was. What a great haul, and especially on the way to a show. Can you believe it? Then maybe I need plastic fruit and vegetables. Nah, they seem to be cracking. Okay. Sometimes you get so excited that you just start getting buy-itis and you just start buying everything in sight, and that is when it is dangerous.
Well, it's about time for me to pay, and look how I've restrained myself. I did not restrain myself. I'm sure this is maybe as much as $1,000, but this is the kind of buy that you do not regret because you have quality merchandise. It attracts people in who look at other things. Surprisingly, I haven't had a lot of new glass lately because I've been slowing down on it and I've been selling it. So now it's time to get some more, and I'm very happy with what I got. I'll show you the haul because then we're going to pack. Love the deco table. The concrete piece is cool, the mailbox, all that Bakelite, lots of Fenton and a little bit of Zolnay, which is porcelain, believe it or not, in that Eosin green. Very happy with the sculpture, the McCoy, the spice cabinet is great, the Fenton set is wonderful, and the most expensive single item I'm getting. Along with some of these Lucite purses, I'm excited to get 4 new Lucite purses. I haven't had any in a long time. I have to check them over though because I see some condition problems on this one here. So that's going to go back. See the yellowing? So we better check the others while we're at it. No cracks, no chips, no warping. That one looks great. This one seems just fine. And this one. So I got 3, but hey, I'm happy with 3. It's 3 more than I've had in quite a while. Murano glass, French glass, cast iron railroad car. So it's a really interesting and varied group, and I also have a couple of jewelry piece and one little jewelry box I have to ask about. So, time to go get boxes. Well, I found out that some Bakelite-looking utensils were made in Taiwan in the 1980s, so I put those back. And a couple of the Lucite purses had some damage. It can be hard to tell. You really have to get them in natural light, but I got 2 of them. Everything else is going in the van. I am headed to get boxes. I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. This was so much fun, and what a surprise. We don't get too many sales like this, or somebody who's a super collector or a dealer leaves stuff for us to go through. In the meantime, I'm George the Antique Nomad. Check me out on the social media that you see here. Please do check out my new The Antique Nomad live channel. That's live with an exclamation point. That'll get you there. And please subscribe because then we can do some stuff like this maybe remotely, where when we stumble on something, I'll be able to show you right at that moment and you can tell me things that you want me to buy. Anyhow, good to see you all. Take care, and I'll be back with more adventures. I suspect now I'm going to be so busy with all this new stock that I might have my hands full. Take care now. Bye-bye. Thanks for joining me again in the fun and fascinating antique community, here where online meets the real world. Please click the subscribe button below, click the bell to be notified when new videos upload, leave a comment below, and hit thumbs up to like this video. Links to our online social media daily posts and our items for sale are in the description. This is George at the Antique Nomad. Bye for now.